I want a number 1 seed. This matters to me. Or at the very least, I want a number 2 seed out west. The 3 number 1 seeds are already spoken for. You've got Purdue, you've got UConn, and you've got Houston. Those 3 teams are not going anywhere. Arizona right now, I believe, is penciled in as that number 1 seed out west, or at the very worst, that number 2 seed out west. The teams that Arizona fans need to be rooting against: North Carolina, Tennessee, Creighton, and Kansas. Those are the 4 teams to root against. And those are the only ones that I believe have a chance of being a number 1 seed here.
Creighton? You mean Marquette?
I mean, Marquette. Sorry. Creighton. Yeah, no, Creighton. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking of Bruce. Marquette.
Yeah, you're right. Right. Look, but I'm a full believer that Arizona should be a 1 seed, but if you look at Tennessee's schedule, like if they went out in the regular season and they move up to 1, I get it, because they still have Kentucky, Auburn, Alabama, and I don't remember. South
Carolina, I believe.
South Carolina. It's like if you went out on that and you take Arizona's place as a 1, I get it. Marquette, if they went out, it would mean that they beat UConn, right?
Right.
Okay, you can make an argument. Kansas, I don't think Kansas is a 1, but I guess if they went out, you make that argument.
Yes, but I don't believe they're a 1 as well. But you can certainly make that case. But again, the one that I'm worried about here is North Carolina in all of this, because I don't believe that Tennessee is going to be able to traverse that schedule. I think they're going to lose games. I also, like I said, Kansas, this just isn't a vintage Bill Self team. You got a great starting 5, but you don't really have much on the, you don't have much off the bench. It's just not a dominating Kansas team. And then, Marquette, you got UConn. I'll let that one. Although I'm fine if they're the number 1 seed out west and Arizona's the number 2 seed. North Carolina is the one team that they're the ones that I really would keep an eye on in all of this.
And Carolina's weird when you look at their schedule. Like, I know they're really good offensively, but I wouldn't mind Carolina's like.
No, I don't either.
In the wet, like their good wins are very limited. I think at the end of Tennessee, they beat early in the year. That's obviously good, but they've lost to Georgia Tech, who isn't good. They lost to Syracuse the other day, who's not a tournament team. They lost to Villanova. It's so. Yeah, I guess if they went out, but even if they went out, their schedule is similar to Arizona, like Miami, NC State, Notre Dame, and Duke. So they're out of their last 4 games, only one of them is a tournament team.
Here's where I guess I don't want to say I'd rather play a Marquette. And maybe I'm speaking out of both sides of my mouth. North Carolina's got very good top end talent, in my opinion. Obviously, as Brad Alice calls it, Armando Bucat. Is obviously a good up front. RJ Davis is good. It is funny that Harrison Ingram is good after he got out of Stanford. Hard to believe. They have solid top end talent, but I also think that Hubert Davis. So I don't really worry about them. I would just, like I said, I think I'd rather play Marquette. That's my only point.
I'd rather play North Carolina. I think no, I don't know. It's close. Look. The reality is Arizona's going to have to beat one of these teams if they want to make a run anyway, right? So, like, it's funny. Like, I do the same thing. It's like I'd rather play this team and this team, but I just want to beat Princeton. I just want, right? Like I just want to win a first round. And we were talking last night. Like, and I even saw bracketology before we went on air. I have no doubt, Mike, that Arizona is going to be in some capacity a possible second round matchup versus Nebraska.
And you know what's funny? Nebraska doesn't stink.
No, you're what's the nickname for him? I don't want to sound too racist.
Nebraska ball.
No,
I'm not touching that one. You can touch that one. I know where you're going. I ain't touching that.
Kisei, we'll just say Kisei is
he's good.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's really good.
A good team.
Yes, he's good. Shout out Kobe Thiel. Kobe Thiel has been talking about him for quite a while. But I'm also still more, and I know this is a cliche. I'm also still more about that. Arizona just needs to take care of its business because listen, Arizona should beat all of the teams remaining on the schedule. I don't care what Seth Curry. I don't care what Seth Davis says about Arizona. I believe if Arizona wins out. And I think Arizona has one game. Arizona has one game that they can drop during the regular season and the tournament. I think if you win out, you can lose one game in the tournament. It just can't be against a bum team like ASU. But I believe there's one loss to play with.
And here's the deal, though. Like, and people, including yourself, Michael, we have to. When did we forget that the conference tournaments have no value? Like, they don't impact seeding.
True.
I guess you could say if Tennessee loses a game and wins the SEC tournament, maybe they're considered a one, but we haven't seen that.
Right.
Like if Arizona loses to, let's say Arizona wins out the regular season and loses to UCLA in the semifinals of the Pac-12 tournament, that won't drop them. Will not. Now, if they lose their first game to Oregon State, okay, maybe we consider it.